I feel like you need to give a bit of a background. What do you do? Like, so that they understand what you're talking about.
So what it is that we do is that we do mentorship and consulting, where it is that we help persons to pass their Canadian relicensing exams on their first attempt with or proven strategies for success.
Look at how smooth that road off your tongue. Love it. Because there was like another thing to like nail down this. So you said the biggest challenge was figuring out how you wanted to do that. And so how did that challenge make you feel? And I was kind of just saying now that like, look how smooth that rolled out. I know one of the things we worked on was nailing that and having an offer promise and all of that. So let's talk about how the challenge made you feel.
Go ahead, Tanis.
What I'll say is it was very overwhelming, difficult
That's the
initially.
word I was thinking, overwhelming.
I'm just being honest. And I had a lot going on as well. So maybe it really shouldn't feel that heavy, but it really felt that heavy. But as soon as we started to implement what it is that you were showing us that we could try to implement, kicking and screaming for some of us. But it really helped. Speaking for myself, I'm speaking about me. It really helped knowing that we had that accountability, that we need to show up on this day, showing that we've done something.
No, I feel like
I
think that's a very, very big point. That accountability coming, it was one thing just having the three of us, but then like it was just, I'm not going to be coming to Fopsy unprepared.
I have to have something I have done. Whatever I said I was going to do, I have to have done it. Oh, I love that.
Yeah,
Okay.
nobody
What
likes.
else?
I mean, for us, we're pharmacists. So there is a nature that we have. We don't make promises we can't keep. And when we do that, we literally feel as if we're letting the world down. Because in our profession, if you say you're going to do something as it relates to a patient and you don't do it, that could mean the difference between life and death. So that's literally how we think. And so when we show up and we don't do something that we said we're going to do, we consider it failing. And there's no in between for us.
Oh, that's incredible. I didn't even think about the angle of as pharmacists, that's how it feels. Okay, so what changed after working together?
And what I can a lot of things changed, but what I will say is a lot of things were more simplified. And we may have been overthinking some things, and yeah, it really helped to simplify things and it got us moving. So it's very difficult sometimes when you're looking at this big thing and you don't have like a step-by-step approach in terms of how to approach it, which is what I think was happening to us and where we were. So you gave us like tasks each week to work towards this big goal, which is launching and having a product that we can sell. But there were other things that we needed to do to prepare that product and prepare ourselves as well. So all of that changed and we started moving, which I think was the most important thing, like to take action and very small stuff.
Money making priorities. Love it. Okay. And wait, were you going to add anything? Thank you so much for that, Tanis.
Yeah, for sure. So I was just thinking about how it is that working with you was just like what I imagine it would feel like to our mentees working with us. One of the things that we always tell our mentees is it's big pie broken down into small bite-sized pieces. And so with working with you, it was the same. It was this very big pie because we were thinking about everything all at once. And because each week, and one thing I love about you, you're a very actionable coach. So it's always like, this is the takeaway. This is what I'd like for you to go into this week to get done. And like Tanis is saying, we're pharmacists. We are very solution-oriented individuals. And so we want to know, okay, what is it that we're doing for this week? You never left us to wonder, okay, what is it that I need to do this week? And what are we going to be talking? Like, it was so detailed and clear for what it is that we needed. And it's not the big picture. It was very specific to the things that we would have discussed in our current call. And then you'd say, okay, these are the things I want you to work on for next. And I think it was very good where, especially with like Tanis, who was struggling with a lot of things, I think you gave us a lot of grace for the times when we didn't show up with every single thing checked. And I think one of the weeks I remember specifically, Tanis says, like, she doesn't come here and feels judged for what it is that she's not operating in the fullness of what it is that she would like to be. So if we came and we said, you know what, we didn't get a chance to work on this thing because of whatever challenges are that we were thinking, or maybe we just couldn't connect with the ideas fully, and it was just okay, like, all right then, so how can we help to resolve whatever mental block you're having with that challenge, and then this is what we can do going into this week to work on it. So I think that was really great too.
That is incredible. Thank you for remembering all of that. I feel like 12 flown so by, so much, like doesn't feel like it's just been that time. Okay.
Yeah.
What specific results can you share? Any numbers, any things you weren't doing before that you're doing now? Any of those?
I'll let you have this one more because there are a lot of them.
Well, okay. So with the division of the work, I think that you helped us to have a great clarity on just like honing in on the strengths on each one of us for the things that we were going to target for each week. We were definitely not using these marketing email tools, which has been great. So because it is that you introduced that to us, so we didn't have that before. We were using our regular emails, and now we're using just like the flow desk now. I don't even know if we'll be using Gmail anymore, but that's what we've been using. It's been a learning process, but we have it. When we were thinking about how it is that we were going to organize with our payments, like you definitely took the stress out of us needing to figure out like who is good, what is going to be a good option for us. So that was also really good. And as far as with the registration of the business, like the links that you sent us were like just spot on, because at first it seemed so complicated. And then the moment you just said, no, look here, everything just went really smoothly with that. So I think the business creation was the first thing that happened. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, you know, a big weight off our shoulders. We were thinking about how to put certain things together in terms of our payments, the emails. And then the big one for me is helping me to get out of my own head with the marketing. I feel like that would have been such a big hurdle for me to overcome with that one. And at the end of the day, when we launched, we had all the stuff, but we were doing all of the marketing prior to having that. And for me, that was like one of the biggest hurdles because it was just like, we can't start if we don't have this. And we ended up making our logo together because he told us like, it's not that big of a deal. So you can do something and it can change as you grow. We didn't have a website, but we figured out how it is to put all of our products in one place, even though we don't have a website. And I think that that was great as well. So those are some of the things that I really value a lot. And I think the biggest win was our pricing, where we started. And now standing and feeling so resolute in where it is that we finally landed. I know that that was a very big challenge for all three of us. And I really want to say thank you for encouraging us and not being forceful. Because once we said we weren't comfortable, like you didn't push, even though we knew that you were thinking you could definitely charge more. But I appreciate you being respectful of just where we were mentally. And at the end of the day, we all just came into it naturally anyways. And I think that's awesome as well.
Give the people some visuals. What was the before number? What was the after number?
So we were our starting prices were at 250 and 300 with our current cohorts. And so we were thinking of upping it to 500 and 700. And then
please tell them for how many months of work?
For 4 months.
For 4 months.
16-week program. So you're going to be doing 500 or 700, 500 for one group and 700 for another group. And actually one of our third groups was going to be at about 350 and Fopsy was resolute. She said we need a 4-figure price and it just made us clutch our pearls.
Yeah.
So yes, so now we have settled at 1200 and we're feeling pretty good about that. Are you feeling good about the price now, Denise?
Yeah, yeah. When I look at all the work and everything and what we're doing, like looking back, I'm like, what were we thinking, honestly? And I think my biggest challenge was thinking about if people be able to afford it. But even in my personal development meeting this week, my coach reminded me that people do not pay attention if it is that they don't pay. If you don't pay, you don't pay attention. And so I am perfectly fine with the cost. One more thing that I wanted to highlight that really I think was very big for us as well is gathering like the testimonials. Like you were very big on that and pushing that. Like maybe we were doing it before, but it was more of an informal setting. So even the suggestions that you made about creating the forms, which Kamoy did, all of that, like, all of that is amazing. We had the ideas, but we just didn't know the how. And you showed us the how to do it. And I'm just seeing it getting better and us improving from here. Like, it's been pretty good.
Yeah.
A lot of tools for us to gather metrics. I think that was definitely missing as well. And we were doing a lot of manual labor. So that's how it is. So with the forms and stuff, it's really condensed a lot of the work to make it replicable, which is one of the big things that we wanted. We wanted to be easily repeated.
I remember one of the big things at the beginning was everybody was coming through referrals because the program was so good and you had a group, but then you were trying to launch it to the public as well, and you didn't know how to launch it to the public. So I know in this, you're still kind of in the middle of your launch because the day hasn't come yet, but how many of your new price have you sold? How many people came to your list during this work together? And yeah, share some of those.
So currently we had, with our new going public, we had 67 persons who subscribed to our live webinar, and we had about 40 persons that showed up to the actual event. So far, we have one sign up coming out of our webinar, and we're very excited about our one because we believe in the power of the one.
Yeah.
However, we do anticipate that there's going to be more persons to sign up once it is that the program has actually started or closer to that, because we have the current group waiting on their exam results. And we've had about 2 persons who have showed interest that they do want to sign up when it is that we start. So we're looking to see what those final numbers are going to look like.
Okay, thank you. That's good. What would you say to someone who's on the fence about working with me?
Why are you on the fence?
Save yourself the headache and the stress of going to figure out one and just do it. You will be worth it in the end. Don't waste your time.
Just
The
do it
money's
like
worth it.
Why
Just
are you
money.
on the fence?
But I don't know how I can afford it.
Don't worry about the how. Just commit and say that you're gonna do it, and the how will figure itself out. It usually does.
Yeah.
Anytime you want to level up, you have to be willing to invest into yourself. So if it is that you're doubting the investment, it means that you are doubting yourself.
Love that.